Is it on? Hi everyone, my name is Jess. I'm 21 years old. I'm from New York, and I'm here to talk about my experiences on subtle Asian dating. So this is actually a question I get a lot. Subtle Asian dating is still relatively new. Even like the subtle Asian groups aren't like super old at this point. I remember like subtle Asian dating was created around November of 2018, so it's been a little over a year now. And I remember when it first kickstarted, like everyone was so excited and like in awe. But just to give a little backstory, I mean, I'm not any of like the admins or moderators of either group. I'm just speaking as like a normal Facebook user who is added to the group by her friends for like the memes and fun posts and stuff. And like that's a pretty typical like experience. Like I joined thinking it was just for fun, nothing serious to come out of it. So to explain, basically, I think it was a group of Australian high schoolers, I don't know, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, that started this group for those that identified with like Asian ethnicity or background or identity heritage, to share these posts that were relevant to the experience of being Asian. And this was first like popularized in Subtle Asian Traits, and it became it branched out into all these other groups. So there's Subtle Asian Dating, there's Subtle Asian Aesthetics, fashion, weightlifting, like food, anything, like basically just groups for these masses of Asians all over the world to connect on Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg would be so pleased. Yeah. So subtle Asian dating was kind of like a huge phenomenon. I mean, especially as a college-aged student, I mean, everyone was embracing it. Like Asian students were embracing it because finally it was something that wasn't like a typical dating app. But I actually heard from a friend who lives in California that this method of like auctioning people off was not particular to just subtle Asian dating. It had actually been kind of like a recurring trend that had happened in groups formed for school or classes like in California. So I don't know, like I guess more research needs to be done on like who started this trend. But basically in subtle Asian dating, it's a mixture of all sorts of posts, but the idea is that you can auction off your friends or you can auction off yourself, and you like list the pros and cons list of your hobbies or whatever, and people are encouraged to shoot their shot, which is basically like shoot you a DM, send you a friend request, just initiate some form of contact that like shows that they're interested in you in some sort. So my experience is a little bit unique. I am one of the majority that did not auction myself off, nor did I auction any of my friends off, unless they want me to. But yeah, so without getting auctioned off, I actually got a lot of like interaction from subtle Asian dating in itself, which was surprising. I didn't join the group with those expectations, but that kind of ended up happening anyway. I found myself like commenting on these posts, and like if I left a funny comment, then like people might respond to it, etc. If I posted something that was like funny or more relevant, some people would actually message me like privately to talk more about it. So, I mean, it was just an interesting community of sorts. Like, it's not just for single people looking for their significant others. So I kind of wanted to talk about my experiences just because I'm very vocal about them, and I think they really speak to the uniqueness of the community that I've been in since last year. I mean, it's very different. And this is speaking as somebody who has never used Tinder or Bumble, Coffee Meets Bagel, Hinge, not sponsored by any of these, but just name dropping a few. But I've never used the dating app before, so the fact that this was like a Facebook group seemed a little more accessible to me. So where was I? Yeah, so I actually got a lot of DM slides just from saying weird or funny stuff in comments. I think there was around 50 last year when the group had first started, and like people were getting more visibility. And I went on a total of, so last year, including January 2019, I went on a total of 3 first dates because of subtle Asian dating. 3. Yeah. And they were all very different. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I think a lot of people didn't realize that like you can actually get a date out of the group. The first one had a mutual friend with me. He actually went to a school pretty nearby, and he invited me to a very stereotypical boba date location. It was Winterfell. I'm sure y'all know exactly which university I'm talking about now. But that was the original plan, but things got funny, and I was like, are you hungry? And then we got Korean food. We got bibimbap. This is an important detail. And just to fast forward, it starts raining. We head back to his apartment, and he's about to play some Death Note, like the movie. This is perfect for subtle Asian dating. And he's about to play that, and I'm like, do we have any snacks? And he opens the fridge, and there's literally just like milk in it, like there's nothing else. And I was like, okay, whatever, we're just on the couch. And then I moved to the window because I'm looking outside, and oh my god, this was just one of the funniest parts of the date. If you know who this is, don't reveal who he is in the comments because I don't want to embarrass anybody. But basically what happened was I was sitting on the windowsill still in my jacket, and this guy comes over and he just slow motion does that thing in like animes and dramas where they put the hand on the wall. So he was just like, but in slow motion. And I was just sitting there like, yeah. So he's just doing this, and then he's leaning closer and closer, and I'm just like, this is so awkward. Mind you, this is not my first kiss. I just thought the initiation was so funny. And he's like this close to me, and then oh my god, I literally ruined the moment. I'm like, you smell like bibimbap. And his face just completely goes. And oh my god. But yes, he did end up kissing me. Yeah, it was funny. But that one didn't work out for a multitude of reasons. But we were both not looking for something serious, and like I didn't end up liking him that much anyway, so we just fell out of contact. Yeah, so that was pretty funny first subtle Asian date. And then the second one was actually a reconnection with an alumni who went to my high school. Some of you might know which high school I went to. If you know who I'm talking about, please don't reveal it. But he went to my high school, and he was in the year above me, and he remembered me from like Mandarin class or something. So nerdy. Oh, so Asian dude. Yeah, and he reached out to me on Instagram and said that he saw me like comment a lot of funny stuff on subtle Asian dating and like wanted to meet up. So I did. I did. And what's funny is I'm usually very late for dates, but this was the first time that I was early. He was late for the date. And I remember we got these like rice noodles that were really fun. They had like all the dishes on the side, and you just like pick up and like pour it into the hot pot. I forgot which cuisine it is. If you know, you probably know. Someone probably knows. Just say it. But that was fun. The thing is, he was so awkward. Like, I apologize if you're watching this now, but you were a really nice guy. It's just that you were so awkward about things, and I felt like the majority of the conversation was you talking about your software engineer job or whatever and how you make 6 figures. And you just kept repeating that you made a lot of money. And I was just like, ugh. Like, as somebody who is a year younger than you and is doing a double humanities degree, I cannot relate. Like, I don't have a job like that yet. Like, 6 figures is bizarre to me. The fact that you keep mentioning it makes me feel uncomfortable because it makes me feel like you're making that, like, the attractive point of you. Yeah. So it's kind of an awkward date. I offered to pay for bubble tea because that's the typical thing to do, and I decided to be funny. I was like, oh, like pick pick the tea on the menu for me that you think most matches me so I can get it for myself. He picks Iron Goddess. Of all the teas on the list, he picks Iron Goddess. Like, I am an Iron Goddess. Oh my god. Oh no. But yeah, I should have known that was like a weird sign. I got it and it didn't taste that good. No offense to me tea, but it wasn't that good. Yeah, and then at the end he tried to like kiss me on the cheek, but it was really awkward, so I wasn't ready, so I was just like, eh. Anyway, lack of chemistry, but I was straight up, and he did invite me to a really nice second date, which I declined because I was like, I don't think this is what I want, and I don't think, you know, like, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. Well, like, I let him down. Yeah. Don't ghost people. I think ghosting is actually, like, pretty insensitive and rude. I know, like, there's a new technology age now, but, like, ghosting is the same thing as, like, passing somebody in the hallway and you say hi, and then that person, like, acknowledges you, and they just don't say hi back. That's how I interpret, like, ghosting. Or even worse, like, they're in clear view of, like, you saying hi to them, and they just, like, don't look at you, like, as if they didn't see you. That's, like, ghosting. But yeah, don't do it, please. Just, like, give people an explanation. Yeah. So my third subtle Asian date. So people often say third time is the charm. It kind of was. I mean, it was a mini success story, but I will say there are sequels to this video, so, you know, success story but with suspense. So, like, at the end there's dun dun. Yeah. So the third one was kind of a success. It was more my style. And it was actually through one of the genius websites that all you tech geniuses in the Subtle Asian Dating group made. I think around that time there were like 3 main ones. There was subtleasianmatches.com, bobameetsbagel.com, I think .com, and cupidhype something. Yeah, I think the main one I liked was Boba Meets Bagel because I liked the layout of how it let you like put the pictures, and then it let you put like a little description of your job and hobbies and interests, and then you could put a pros and cons list, and you could put where you're from and like your age. I like that layout, so I was just making it for fun. And like one night I was swiping because like I was not able to fall asleep, and I was like, hey, like, I personally don't like raving. Let me see how many New Yorkers I can flip through, like how many New Yorkers I can find that also don't rave. Because at that point I was like swiping through, and like everyone on the Boba Meets Bagel app was like coming up from London, Vancouver, and I was like, this is not helping. I'm not trying to have that kind of long distance love. So I'm like swiping, and I'm like gradually falling asleep. And I do swipe on some New Yorkers, but they all have the rave checkbox like this. And I'm like, no, mine is like this. I don't know. I'm not into it. No offense to anybody that is, but it's not my scene. Everyone had it checked. And I was like, okay, how long can I swipe before I find a New Yorker who doesn't? And just when I'm about to close the app, the next dude I swipe on, surely enough, is from New York, doesn't have the rave box checked off, and seems pretty normal. So I do a little Facebook stalking, and we actually have a few like distant mutual friends. So I shoot my shot. I shoot my shot by asking what his cons are, because in the pros and cons section, I noticed that he only filled out his pros section, but not the cons section. And like, I didn't know what else to say about his like bio. I mean, it was just a very basic bio with like basic manly ass hobbies. So I was like, hey, what are your cons? I know, like, what kind of pickup line is that? And like, I think a few hours later, at like 4 a.m., I don't know what he was doing up at 4 a.m., he accepted my application, and it was really funny. I was like, I didn't even see that Boba Meets Bagel has sent me that email, so I had no idea. Until the next day when I realized that the contact info listed on the bio had started following my Instagram. And then I was like, ooh. By the way, my Instagram is at Jess Ideas. I post a lot of shit posts. Like if you've seen a Finsta, my Rinsta is a Finsta. But like that is also my Rinsta. Like my personal and public life are the same. I'm literally the same. Yeah, Jess Ideas. So he starts following me and I didn't notice until the next day. And then I slide into his DMs because it is 2019 and it's almost 2020. And women should shoot their shot if they want to, because there's nothing wrong with it. If anything, you're saving yourself time, okay? Any guy that says hey with a smiley face is gonna take like at least 3 minutes more to decipher than a woman who says hey with a smiley face. Because the woman will get straight to what they want. Yeah. So I was like, hey, like, do we match on Boba Meets Bagel? Oh my god. It was like the one guy I matched on the app because it was the only person I sent an application to. And we start talking and we set up for a date literally like a few days later. And it's a fun date. It's a very normal date. We go get brunch at a cute little cafe, and then I know. You're thinking like, what the heck? Like, why is this girl heading to everyone's place? I promise you, I'm not like any certain way, but like it just doesn't occur to me that it's weird. But we head back to his place and watch Bird Box. And it was pretty funny because I had watched half of it before, and like Bird Box is kind of a terrible movie to me, so it was fun. It was fun. And then yeah, and then I got dropped off at the train station as he was going to the airport. It was a good date. And yeah, somehow like that one date turned into many dates over the series of the semester. So at that point I was that was January 2019, so almost a year ago. And that was the middle of January, and we had went on that first date like right before I finished my winter break for college. So I was going back for my junior spring semester. So I go back and I know that like, I shouldn't expect anything because like we just went on a first date, but we keep talking throughout the semester. And it's like, wow, okay. And then 3 weeks later, he actually drives up to my dorm to come visit me and spends the weekend with me in February. And then in March, I go back for a spring break. We spend more time in New York because he's in New York. And then April, I meet his friends. And they watch my dance show. I treat them to dinner. May, like I'm prepared to go overseas. Like things just get serious like fast. But it's at a comfortable pace. I think a lot of my friends who were watching me date this guy at the time, they were like, you know, if there's one way to describe it, it's like you two are an old couple. Like you guys act like very comfortable, as if you guys have known each other like since forever. And I kind of felt that. I felt like there was not really like a huge learning curve to get to know this guy, but very comfortable with him, obviously. So I go overseas to work in China for the summer, and our relationship actually lasts through that. By that point, we are boyfriend and girlfriend. So you can say, woo, sad success story, like those cringy posts that they put in Subtle Asian Dating. I guess if that's like success, then yes, we reached that point. And then, yeah, like we meet up more, we go on a lot more dates. He drives up for my birthday, which is really nice of him, actually. That was really nice. He spent my birthday with me, and he drove me and my friend home for Thanksgiving. We had a Christmas thing together, but basically, like, you know, smooth sailing for a year. And that was kind of my success story from Subtle Asian Dating. Now, I bet you're wondering, like, why I'm telling the story like this. Like, why is it so speeded up? Well, it's in past tense. It was a Subtle Asian success story, Subtle Asian Dating success story. The story has ended, so our relationship lasted about a year. There are a lot of complications that I actually recently found out, and they make the story a lot more interesting. So yeah, that is my experience with my first 3 Subtle Asian dates, and this video is not really confirmation of anything. It's just a confirmation that it's a real way to get dates if you intend it to be so. And it's like, it's not any more sketchy or dangerous than like Tinder or anything would be. You know, just be vigilant and do your research. Yeah, and success stories do happen. I mean, I guess I wouldn't count like a week-long relationship as a success story, but like, you know, like if you start talking to this person for a month and it becomes something, you know, like it's a success story even if like the ending is not marriage or whatever, you know, like that's just life. Things like fade out. So yeah, yeah, really thankful for all the people I met through subtle Asian dating. A lot of people I didn't go on dates with, but actually became really good friends with. I have this friend from California who's like basically my twin because he likes everything that I like and we talk almost the same. I have this other friend who I met because he used to date someone who went to my college and now we're very close. I have this other like group of friends who are like guys who go to the nearby university and like literally one of them performed at my school because I invited him to the venue. You know, like I just met a lot of random friends and acquaintances because of subtle Asian dating. So it's a great community, you know, like your goal shouldn't just be a success story. It's just an extra opportunity to network and connect with people, honestly. Yeah. But there's my success story and there's my experiences of the first dates that I went on through subtle Asian dating. I'm still pretty involved in the group. I mean, I enjoy it. Some of the memes aren't funny, no offense, but yeah. Yeah, so those are my experiences. And there are sequels coming up because there is drama. So much drama. Oh, so much drama. Drama just follows me everywhere. But yeah, if you know any of the people that are subtly being mentioned in this video without me name dropping, please do not name drop them in the comments. Please preserve their privacy. I'm trying to tell stories and make the stories as vivid as possible without giving away people's like personal lives, you know, like that's not my business to give. But yeah, thank you to everyone that's, you know, involved, and thank you to everyone that has reached out to me, and thank you to all 3 guys that went on those first dates with me. I mean, that was the first time I did something like that, like go on casual dates. Ooh. It was a new experience for me, and it was cool as a 20-year-old. I mean, I'm 21 now, and I don't know. It still might be cool. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna jump into dating like anytime soon. We'll see. But yeah, those are my experiences. Thanks for listening, and please comment any questions or things you might have. Okay.